Hi, welcome to the Everett campus of ITT Tech. We better go inside before it starts raining again. This is the famous Everett campus water feature. Whenever you move into a new campus or have a build out or remodel, there's always some unintended issues or consequences of that activity. We found when we moved into this area that this is where three different hallways converge. And consequently, one of two things would happen. When it was really quiet, you could hear private conversations in offices 50 feet away. And when the students were storming down the student entrance, it also became incredibly noisy and you really couldn't hear anything. So this was a specific solution to mitigate that. And Gene still gives me a hard time about asking him to sign a POR for a hydroelectric ambient noise mitigation unit. But again, it was a specific response to the need created by this particular space and the echoing in the ceiling. This is another little feature of our campus that we built from a kit. It looks like a fully functional video game, and actually it is that. It's also a venue on which we can display student work. We built it from a kit, and on the inside, really, there's just a surplus computer down below and one of our standard flat screens. And the DEGD students actually can use this. There's a lot of open source games that are also on this, so they can mix and match pieces from different video games without having to go down to the source code. And once in a while for the student events, we'll open it up and just let the students play games. This is our display cabinet, and as you can see, we've tried to take the approach that less is more, but we still try to have at least one talking point of each of the schools of study. You can see this is a model of Frank Lloyd Wright, and there's some electronics equipment, some robots that were used in a soccer bot competition that we had on campus, and also there's some die-cut models from our CDD program. This middle display is campus awards and awards for our faculty and staff that have accumulated over the last couple of years. Another feature that we use as a tour stop on the campus, and this is a project that was done by some of our NSA students. It's really a fully functional gaming computer built in an aquarium, and it's filled with 10 gallons of mineral oil, which is a non-conductive fluid that aids the efficiency of the operation. So in sort of what would otherwise be sort of a standard theory room, we decided to theme this and punch it up a little bit. So we bought this sort of wall covering that tended to bleed into the base colors on the walls. So we just went out and found some crown molding and painted it the same color as the chair rail, and that sort of made it stand out. And so for about $30 or so, basically, we had a nice wall mural for our. So the key to a combined lab, or especially with electronics, is trying to keep everything neat and clean. And one of the ways that you can do that is make sure every day, as we do, that each single workbench has exactly the same components in exactly the same place on every workbench every day. And that really keeps the clutter down. What we did to reduce clutter was sort of give the electronics folks an open space for their projects. We found that before we did that, by the time we got to the end of the quarter, all the capstone projects and everything was sort of jammed into every little nook and cubby hole, and it really looked more like a mess. Giving them this open space allows it to become more of a display area and almost a tour stop for the prospective students, and that's just worked out a lot better. This is an idea for displaying student work that we actually got from the Spokane campus. Their chair came over and actually helped us build this display. This is actually student work. This is our multimedia lab, and these are actually characters from a Xbox game that our DEGD students designed. And you can actually go out on Xbox right now and download RAM and Glitch and play the Plague game.
My name is Stephanie Ferris, and I'm the Director of Career Services for the ITT in Everett, Washington. I've been the docs for over 6 years, and I feel it's really important for our students to feel comfortable in a professional atmosphere and environment. They will be working in this type of environment when they graduate from our school. It's also really ingrained in our culture here at the Everett campus. People notice when something's out of place, and we really take pride in having a clean campus, professional atmosphere for all of the employees and employers and students that come onto the campus. It's important to all of us.
So Terry, as the dean, what are the advantages of having a nice campus facility?
You know, we really run into a couple things. If we look at it from our adjunct instructor staff and our full-time instructor staff, having the campus set up and organized as well as we have it, it really allows us to get going faster. The faculty knows where to find the materials they need for the class to get it started. They know where the lab materials are. We've got our storage closet that we have available that has a lot of our materials in it, so they can go right to it, get what they need, and get back in the class, and really get the class going on time, which helps that environment for the students in their education process. You know, the other thing, from when we look at it from the student side, we have a lot of students who come in between class. It's a comfortable environment for them. They know the labs are available for them to use. They know where the materials are they need to run their classes if the instructor's not here. So they're comfortable showing up on campus an hour before class, sitting in the lab or sitting in the student lounge area, talking with each other and meeting with their instructors as they come on campus early. And that in itself really promotes the learning environment for the students by raising that comfort level for them to be here on campus.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think there's a lot of research to support the fact that people act according to the environment they encounter. If they're walking down a messy street, they're more likely to litter than if they walk into a pristine environment. And just by keeping a pristine environment, you encourage, I think, the kind of community and collegiality that you'd like to see in your campus community.
Yes, I'd have to agree. And we see a lot of our staff are very, for them, a clean environment is really important there. They leave the classrooms clean and tidy when they leave. Students are picking up after themselves because they want to make sure that it's as clean as it was when they walked in.
Well, and once everybody understands what the standard is, everybody recognizes, and beyond that, they actually take action.
Yes.
When they see something that's out of place, right?
Yes, they do.